Hi, my name is Mary and I go by the Healing Cave Lady. And today I am starting a gut health series. Now, many of you know, but maybe some of you don't know that I'm a certified nutritional therapist and I've been working with people and families for probably about 6 years now on healing the gut and healing all kinds of ailments naturally. So, the people I typically work with are the people that have kind of been everywhere and been through the gamut of seeing doctor after naturopath, traveling sometimes the United States, trying to find out what's going on with their bodies. It's people that really can't get real answers, or they get answers, but then they just don't have anywhere to go after they get those answers. And the crazy thing about all of these people with all kinds of different diagnoses and symptoms, it's the same protocol for healing. And so many people, they just don't know. They've never been told. They have been diagnosed with colitis or Hashimoto's, severe eczema or psoriasis, or they've been diagnosed with other more serious diseases. And they don't realize that the protocol for healing is almost exactly the same. So it's actually kind of a cool thing. And I have learned this through default because I have had so many people come to me with their children who have autism or on the autism spectrum. And we have found that the same kind of healing protocol works. Many of you guys that follow me are contacting me about all kinds of gut issues and they're trying to heal them with essential oils. And while essential oils can kind of can help things to an extent, not as much internally, or it kind of can put a band-aid on something. When you suffer from extreme anxiety or extreme gut issues, there's no oil that you can take, rub on yourself, or diffuse that's going to heal things that need to be repaired in the gut. So I feel like it's a really important thing for me to talk about the gut, and it's such a buzzword. The gut, people don't even know what it is. They're like, that's in your stomach or something, or it's like your intestines or whatever. But so many people are monopolizing on this gut thing. They're like, ooh, gut healing. If I talk about the gut, people are going to listen because they know that everything stems to the gut, and it does. But a lot of those people don't really know about the gut. So I got my nutritional therapy license from a school that didn't really teach anything about the gut. All of my gut biome knowledge has come from my own research and my own trial and error, especially with I had a very, very sick son. If you hadn't watched any of my old videos, I had a very sick son and the doctors didn't know what was wrong with him. We found out it was PANDAS, pediatric neurological disorder associated with strep. So basically, he was a C-section baby. He was exposed to strep at a young age. He actually got RSV when he was 1, like on his first birthday, and that really set him off towards a downward spiral. He was totally normal at that point, and he went on a downward spiral until he became basically insane. And the doctors were like, oh, he is on the autism spectrum. And I'm like, my child is sick. And we found out the long, hard way that, what was going on through a stool analysis test for Genova. I think it's Genova testing. We did a stool analysis test, found out about all the strep, and then we had to treat it, of course, with antibiotics, which he had never been on before. And that started the series of intestinal issues and gut dysbiosis. So from that point on, it's just been a war on healing the gut. But, it is a triumphant story because he went from having no words and being sick and not being able to poop and to being able to speak. And honestly, I didn't think my son would ever speak. And I know how many of you are in the same situation I was, so desperate. They're like, my kid will never talk. I mean, it was like you were going to therapy 30 hours a week, taking your kid just so you could squeeze one coaxed word out that really meant nothing to the child. It was almost like they were just copying you to get through or get the treat you were trying to get them. So there's so many of you that were in the same boat as me thinking, my kid is never going to talk. And then you realize it's actually a gut issue and you can do something about it. So I just kind of studied and taught myself, what can I do? And I looked at the GAPS diet. I looked at anything. I realized that the gut had a huge play on the brain. And if there were interferences in the gut, because all neurotransmitters are basically formed in the gut that give the signals to the brains. So if there's any kind of issue, like if there's too many toxins, if there's too many pathogenic bacteria or yeasts, then basically they take over and they interfere with the gut-brain connection. So if you have any kind of intruders, any kind of pathogenic yeast, bacterias, not enough of certain good bacterias, probiotics, if you have leaky gut, which it means basically that you have too many pathogenic yeasts and bacterias eating the wall basically of your gut lining. And whenever you eat food, it goes down your mouth and it gets into the intestines and it leaks out into the body. That's leaky gut. And your body attacks itself because it thinks it's an intruder, because this is not supposed to be in the body. So every time you eat that food, it attacks itself and you become sick and have issues. That's leaky gut. That is caused by the same issue. It causes all kinds of things in our body that's red flagging, and we have no idea that that's why it's a red flag. You know, skin rashes, hives, different kinds of acne, psoriasis, depression, anxiety, all of those things caused by gut dysbiosis. And I have just been watching TED Talk and podcasts all morning long about gut biome and talking about the vagus nerve that goes to the brain. It goes from the gut to the brain, basically. And how they have tested in lab rats, like they raise these lab rats in a sterile environment and then introduce different kinds of bacteria. And those bacteria actually cure any kind of symptom they have. Different strains of lactobacilli and different strains of bacteria actually cure, you know, depression and autism characteristics and things like that. So it's a big world of like, where do I go? What do I do? And that's what I'm going to try to hone in on. And I'm hoping by January, I have it all set up and easy and ready to go so that you guys can do this. And I'm working with somebody else too on figuring out a way for you guys all to get a new fresh start on the gut, and all the steps and how to do it, and being able to encourage you and aid you and give you kind of like a full program of what to do for gut healing and lymphatic drainage and everything you need to do to kind of like detox and heal your gut all at the same time, but make it easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have gut series talks, and we're going to talk about different things about the gut and why you should do them, because I feel like education is the most important thing. Because a lot of people, they're like, okay, I want to heal my gut, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink a bunch of bone broth. And they do it for 2 weeks and they don't really see the difference that they're looking for. So they're like, oh, they just stopped doing it. And then the next thing, it's like, oh, I'm going to take probiotics. I've heard these probiotics are great. So they just do that and they don't see this gut healing that they're looking for. So they go on to the next things. Well, then I'm going to try apple cider vinegar and drink a bunch of apple cider vinegar and hope that that helps me. And they're not seeing the payoff. So they just throw everything out with the bathwater. And when really you need to be educated on each specific thing and why you're doing it, and a full diet. I mean, like, so many people get tripped up because they think they're eating healthy because somebody tells them something is healthy. But guess what? If you have an inflamed gut, something that's healthy to somebody else is not going to be healthy for you. It's actually going to jack you up. So when I tell people, oh yeah, when we're doing a gut healing protocol, we're not going to eat any raw foods. They're like, what? I eat spinach every morning in my smoothie and I blend everything and that should be digestible. And guess what? Breaking through the cell wall of raw vegetables is very hard even when it's blended. So there's all kinds of things that trip people up that I just need to let you know and be aware of so that you are prepared for your gut healing. And that's why I want to start you now, because then when the New Year's comes around and it's time to like get it all together, be like, you know what? I'm ready to heal my gut. I'm ready to get rid of this excess fat around my tummy that will go nowhere and this horrible bloating and gas that I have all the time. I'm ready to get rid of my eczema. I'm ready to get rid of my psoriasis. I'm ready to heal my colitis. I'm ready to just get better and feel better and be healthier. Then not only are you educated on why you're doing things, you feel like you have the backup to do it. So I feel like that's probably the most important thing. It's really hard just to get out there and to start dabbling or just delve into something and not know why. So the whole reason I'm making these videos is to prepare you and to get you ready to do something so that you can be successful and that you can actually feel a difference. And so that if you do hit a wall, we can figure out what it is really quickly, because I am going to kind of set up the do's and don'ts and have you prepared. So when you start your gut healing and you hit a wall, you're like, oh, it was because I had that salad, and lettuce needs to be chewed really well, or it just, gets drugged down into your intestines and then it leaks out. And almost everybody's allergic to lettuce because nobody chews it up. And I'm taking these digestive enzymes before absolutely every meal because I don't have enough digestive enzymes to break down my food. And when I take a digestive enzyme before I eat something, it actually helps break down the food so that my body can use it and it can nourish me and it doesn't leak out into my gut. Or when I eat, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to engage my peripheral vision. So my body goes from fight or flight mode into a digestive mode. And I actually am digesting the food I'm eating because I'm eating good food and I want to make sure it's digested so that my body doesn't attack itself and it gets the nutrients from the food. And I'm going to consume, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar morning and night because that's going to help with the digestion process. So when I'm sleeping, my digestive juices are flowing and it's actually breaking down foods as I sleep that maybe wouldn't get broken down and just would result in bloating and excess gas. And I'm going to drink 30 ounces of water in the morning and in the evening so that I'm hydrated so that I can produce enough gastric juices to break down my food and to aid in my organs and help with digestion and help flush any toxins that are burdening my body and adding to the problems that I already have. I mean, I want to take you through every step of what you're doing and why you're doing so you make it a priority. So it's not the missing link of why you are not healing, because I feel like that is the biggest thing. Someone hits a wall or they're just not educated on why they're doing things. So they just like, it's not really working, so I'm gonna stop doing it, when really it might be a vital puzzle piece of what you need for the gut healing that you need. So I'm gonna start the series kind of like right now. So if you wanna get on board, start watching the gut series, and I'm going to number them all so that you can watch them all in order so that when New Year's hits, you guys are ready to hit the ground running to gut health. And if you understood how many things just start healing when you start taking care of your gut, it blows your mind. You're like, oh my gosh, I feel good. I have energy. My skin is clear. My wrinkles are going away. Like, my hair is getting healthy and stronger and my nails are growing. My nails are never grown. Like, all of these things, all of a sudden your body's like, whoa, like I can actually concentrate on healing myself. And once you get past that phase, you have excess energy. All of a sudden your hair and your nails are getting thicker and stronger. I mean, everything about gut healing is a spiral effect to your body. And your body's just like, yes, yes, this is what I needed. And so many people don't realize that it only takes a small amount of time of taking out all the offenders for your body to start healing rapidly. Our bodies were created magnificently to heal. God gave us everything we needed to heal our bodies. The problem is we keep getting in the way. Everything that we do in Western civilization is getting in the way of healing ourselves. Always getting in our ways by taking different kinds of drugs that, for anxiety and things like that, when the certain bacteria is actually needed to help restore balance in the gut so that your body can produce serotonin, which is what is needed. When you give yourself that in a different way, it actually sterilizes the gut and it kills off those bacteria that you need to create your own serotonin. So by supplementing it, you're actually doing a disservice to your body because your body's like, I'm not going to make that anymore. And now you're going to be addicted to this drug that actually is doing more damage than good and is going to cause you to spiral out of control and need more drugs. So the whole point of healing the gut is to restore your body, to heal itself, and to do everything that it needs on its own. Because the downward spiral of starting medications, it leads to another medication, another medication, another medication. And I'm not telling you guys to stop any of your medications. You do whatever your doctor tells you to do, okay? This is not medical advice. What it is a way to heal yourself and turn your body into a healing machine, like what it was created to do. And you're going to start to feel like a vampire, like, oh my gosh, I get a cut and it heals super fast. All of a sudden it's a scab and then there's new skin and your body starts working the way it was designed to work. So I feel like it's super important to go over the who's, when's, the whys, the hows, everything that you need so that you feel informed on what you're doing and you're ready to take the next step and be like, okay, you know what? I'm sold. I need this gut healing. This is really the root of all of my issues. And we're going to try to go over as much information we can, because I feel it's absolutely the most important thing that we could do. To our family, be like, hey, look, what you've got going on is a gut issue and we need healing. We need to prioritize the food that is going in our mouth. Can actually, it's either food that's going to life or to death, one of the two things. And there really isn't much in between. So it's either going to give your body life and healing and nourishment, mineralization, detoxification, or it's going to give your body brown storage fat. It's going to confuse your neurotransmitters. It's going to confuse your brain. It's going to cause you to crave more sugar. I mean, what is your food telling your body to do? Because really, what food is information. It's information for your body. So we're going to go through all of those things, and I would love some topic ideas to add to what I already have planned so that you can post those below. Follow me on Facebook. I do actually tons of Facebook Lives and stuff like that. And I like to talk to you guys and get to know you better and figure out what your needs are. So follow me on Facebook. I'll put a link for that below. But I'm really excited to help you guys all heal your guts and just make you feel better forever. Or so many of you, you're hitting, like me, getting into your mid 30s or 40s, and you realize that certain things aren't working anymore for your body. You're like, gosh, I used to be able to get away with this and this and this and this and this, and now all of a sudden I'm just like holding on to weight and fat, and my skin is looking dull and dry and wrinkly and all these things. And so much of that is the information that you're feeding it. So thank you for watching. I am going to start the series very, very soon. I'm going to make it a priority to film the series because I feel like it is absolutely so important. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.